Welcome back, this is UIX Kingwin, and today we're going to be talking about CSS Basics and what it can do for your HTML web pages. So, first and foremost, what does CSS stand for? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It allows you to holistically insert design ideas and changes, and it effectively creates changes in the elements of your HTML pages. For example, it could be your headers or your paragraphs or your body tags, etc. And well, now, what can you do with CSS? The possibilities are pretty much endless, and there's countless libraries of information out there on the web. You just got to give it some time, give it a quick Google search, and you'll be on your way to finding any sort of design or CSS tutorial that you need. But for today, I'm going to go over some more simpler things that you can do with CSS to start you off. Let's start with color. Let's change the background color of this section here. If you look closely, this element is actually contained within the header tag. So let's look for header in our CSS code. It is right here, header. The background color is currently set to this color right now, but I'm not really a fan of this color. Let's change it to something a bit more colorful. As you can see, since I got rid of it, it's going to remove that background color there. Let's do 66B3FF. This is like a bluish color. I like this color. Personally, this font color is not going to match very well with this color, but I think this color is a bit more playful. It's a little less serious, but um, I don't know. It's just my opinion. I think that color is fun. Um, Something that you can also edit is the padding of certain elements. It's going to help you out with spacing and make things on the page look a little neater and more spaced out. So let's actually mess with the content wrap element that we put in here. Oh, where is it? Right here. So we've created a class in the div tag called content wrap. Let's look for content wrap in our CSS code, and it's right here. As we can see, our padding is currently set to 100 pixels, and what that does is it creates this spacing right here between this section and this section. So as you can see, we can make it 10 pixels, and that'll squeeze things a little tighter. We can make it 1,000 pixels, which will probably, yeah, it'll completely throw things askew. So let's not do that. Let's put it back to 100. So as you can see, if you mess around with that, it increases or decreases depending on the sizing I put in the padding, right? It's pretty neat. One more attribute that I think is pretty fun to play with is the font family. I think something that we as designers will realize pretty early on is that font selection is really important to the tone and the readability of anything you put out there. So by editing the font family in CSS, you can change large sections of text relatively quickly. So let's try with the body here. It's in Open Sans. I'm not really a fan of Open Sans, but throwback to Times New Roman. Obviously, the font color needs some work because of the background color change we made earlier. But yeah, as you can see, by messing with the Times New Roman tag, or the font family tag rather, it kind of lets you mess with the font. So let's put this back to Open Sans. And let's move on to our last bit. So lastly, you can put classes into the HTML file here. Like we did before, this is a class right here. So we're going to use this same syntax with something else. Let's say we want to change this heading right here, heading 3. We can add a class by doing this, and let's say italics H, right? So currently the italics H does not exist in our CSS, so we have to add that ourselves. Dot italics H, the curly brackets, and now we can start editing what we want. So let's do font and style, and we're going to set that to italic and semicolon. And as you can see, our skill set has been changed, or our, our skill set font style has been changed here. So as you can see, you can make these changes wherever you want in CSS using classes. I think this is a pretty cool thing that you can do with CSS. I hope that you guys learned something from this video, and this has been UIX Kingwin, and I'm out.